welcome back to another vlog on my channel. If you guys are new, hi, my name's Alice. This is my vlog channel where I share everything from behind the scenes footage, shoot days, and what I get up to at the moment. So this vlog is very spontaneous and just completely unplanned. I feel like today needs to be a bit of a self-care day. I'm just kind of feeling it in my soul, you know, when you're just not quite sure what's wrong, even though there's nothing in particular wrong. You just want to get yourself in a bit of a better headspace. So at the moment I've got quite a busy week. It's actually Wednesday today, so by the time you see this video it'll be tomorrow, so Thursday. So normally I don't really leave my vlogs this last minute, but I just kind of wanted to make it really informal and just true, and I just wanted to really document, you know, every single day is going to be different. It's all about kind of feeling your feelings and then kind of moving forward with a positive kind of frame of mind. So that's what I've been doing a lot lately and sharing over on my Instagram. If you guys want to head over there, then please do so. I do chat about being positive in my captions, but I just wanted to chat to you guys today, be really super informal, and just talk about how close we are to the end of 2020 and how we should be closing this chapter in the best way possible. I think at the moment circumstances aren't great. The news isn't exactly positive. Well, it's never positive, but it's particularly hard-hitting for people living in the UK and across the world. It's happening in every single country, and that kind of unifying feeling is probably what's weighing quite heavy on a lot of people right now, and I think that's what's weighing on me the most. Is it's almost like this big rain cloud is sitting over the world, without sounding super deep and yeah, emotional. It kind of feels like that. So it's about learning to spot the rainbows and the glimmers of sunshine amongst the rain. That's kind of what I've been trying to do, and is really why I set up this vlog channel and have continued to post so frequently, because I don't want to forget these moments. And for years I always wanted to like create a vlog channel and just talk about different areas of my life. My light just flickered, I feel like oh my goodness me. Right, I keep getting lights flickering at the moment, and I think it's someone communicating with me. That sounds really crazy, I know, but just as I said that, the light flickered. Okay, you guys know I'm so woo-woo. I kind of just wanted to use this platform as an opportunity to share the raw and ready moments. You know, life isn't always going to be amazing and perfect in every way, and I was kind of thinking about this because I was watching a YouTuber who, a bit of a tangent story actually, but she basically did a video on Kim Kardashian's birthday, her 40th birthday. So the YouTuber is called Shalyn. She's actually a journalist, a celebrity journalist over in America. Now, she shared this video and I was watching it this morning as I was getting ready to head out to the gym. And it really struck a chord with me because she was talking about how Kim Kardashian has turned 40 and how we can embrace our age and how we can get better like a fine wine with age. And I was kind of thinking about it, and actually it's a bit of a trigger for me. I've always been a person that turns a year older and thinks, oh my gosh, that's another year gone from my life. What have I achieved? And because of 2020 being such a bizarre year, I feel like it's been put, our lives have almost been put under a magnifying glass, and I feel like lots of things are heightened at the moment. You know, big changes are happening, chapters are ending in our lives. It's almost like the universe kicking us all up the bum and saying, you know, that thing you wanted to change, now's the time to do it. So I feel like with that video, and what I kind of took from that video, is that I'm actually a person that fears my next birthday and fears that, have I done enough in that year to warrant turning a year older? And if I feel like I haven't done enough, then I'm quite hard on myself. So the age between 21 and 22, I did so much. I achieved so much, and I kind of ended it on quite a bit of a bang, really. I turned 22 in Jerusalem. I was on my own and it was a press trip, and I kind of just sat there on my own and was thinking about it. And that trip, the lights just flickered again. I'm sure it's just the fact that it's quite rainy today, but you know, and you just think it's a sign. I just remember sitting there and thinking, so much has led up to this point. I'm here on my own as a journalist writing an article for a magazine, and it's led up to this, even though it's not, you know, fully where I want to be, and there's so many things that I want to accomplish in my life. I'm so glad in that year between 21 and 22, I was very, very grateful. I never took any trip for granted. I remember sitting in groups on my press trips and just being the really like emotional one, and everyone always said it actually. And when we'd sit down in a group and talk about our favourite points of the trip and what we enjoyed the most and maybe what we learnt from the trip, I always used to get so emotional about it. And I feel like it was because I felt like I was changing whilst I was travelling, and in those moments I learned so much about other people. I learned so many things about the industry and who I want to be. And I think because 2020 has been such a quiet, reflective year, I've really just sat and looked back on those moments and reached out to those people as best I can. I know it can be hard. There's so many people you want to get in touch with and talk to. So I feel like this year has been that perspective shift, and I didn't take things for granted, and I'm glad I didn't, because I think I would have had a lot of regret this year, and maybe I would have been even more down on myself this year at the fact that I'm not travelling and everything's kind of paused for now. So I feel like the video, going back to that, Shallon's video on aging and how to appreciate age. In this video, Shallon touched on something that her mother would say to her whenever she'd say, I don't want to get older, and the fear of the birthday thing kind of kicked in, and she'd say, well, has your life got progressively worse or progressively better? Have you learnt something from this year? And she said that she would answer and say, yes, I did this, I started a new job, I met this person. And it kind of just gave me this perspective, one that I've never really delved into, that I would never ever want to go back necessarily to a particular age. There's obviously times when you look at things and you think life was amazing and rosy, and you look back with hindsight and you kind of glamorize and romanticize past experiences. But I think there would be no point at which I would take back what I've already learned in the last year, even since my birthday in July. Like, the things that have happened and the shifts that have happened since turning 23 have just been very catalysed by the fact that we are not quite back to normal, and we've had this reflective period. So I kind of have to see it in a positive way, and I think it's really hard when you're going through it every single day. You know, I wake up, I go to the gym, I come back, I open my laptop, and I kind of fear the next thing. And worry about money sometimes and where, you know, the next opportunity is going to come from. But actually taking this time to educate yourself on how to self-care better, how to be less judgmental, how to look back but not actually kind of miss things to the point where you're forgetting about the now and what you can appreciate right now. So I guess I wanted to talk to you about that in this vlog and give that a bit more of an open platform for you guys to kind of discuss, maybe think about it. Maybe it's something that you've never really thought about, because I hadn't until I watched this video this morning, and I was kind of thinking, okay, I haven't got a vlog for today, but I know I want to talk about something important, and I've been kind of thinking about self-care and having a self-care day and working on being a bit more nurturing to my own emotional needs and things like that. So I feel like this video is just going to be really super casual. Like, I don't even know what the next clips are going to be. I just know I want to talk to you guys, and it's not really something that I want to necessarily put on my main channel, because that's a more formal place for me to showcase my work, and I want you guys to get to know me in these videos more, you know. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about today, and I've made some coffee, and I'm kind of just feeling like today I want to journal a little bit before I go and film another video that I need to film. It's one of those days, guys. It's been one of those weeks, you know, where it's all very hands on deck, lots of things happening. But I've had my diary. Yesterday I was writing, and I had a bit of music on. I know it can be a bit of a slippery slope if you start putting a certain type of music on. You really get in your feelings, which I think is good. It kind of opens things up, but be careful not to get too stuck in it, because once you open that Pandora's box, that's it. You're crying to like Frank Ocean on the floor, and I really don't I don't advise that at all. Get it out of your system, but just don't let it control and consume you to the point where you can't really get out of the rut, because then that's when it gets a bit heavy, you know, and can really change your outward world. And that's kind of what I have to strike a balance between. This video is honest to God so rambly, but I hope you guys get something from it. But yeah, I was just kind of going through my diary, talking about thoughts and emotions. Such a water sign, it's crazy. Guys, I have a water moon sign as well, so my inner self is just a watery mess, in the best possible way. Like, I take the mick out of myself, but I think it's really important to be in tune with your emotions, because, you know, no one else is going to open those things for you. You have to open those things up for yourself, and deal with them yourself, because otherwise later down the line you might be in therapy, or, you know, actually subconsciously projecting those things out into a relationship or a friendship or a situation. So it's so important to just be aware of what's going on in your current life, because later down the line those things do affect your future self, much like law of attraction does. Positive thoughts equal positive future opportunities. If you're constantly like thinking and dwelling and being negative, you're going to manifest negativity later on in your life, whether you like it or not. So it's good to kind of like nip it in the bud. That's kind of how I think about it, you know. There's a really good method which Renee Amberg touched on. She's a YouTuber. I'll link her channel below because she's fantastic. She spoke about this hair tie method, where you have a hair tie. I don't actually have a hair tie on my wrist for once. Oh, there we go, I do have a hair tie. There's always a hair tie nearby, guys. You have a hair tie and you put it on one side of your wrist, and every single time you complain about something, you take the hair tie and you move it over, and you will quickly realise how annoying, I mean, I've just complained, so there you go. You quickly realise how crazy it is that every time you moan about something, you have to move this hair tie over to the other side, and it just gives you a perspective and shows you how many times you're actually negative in a day. It's a really good method to shift your focus away from negativity. But I was kind of writing in my diary. I don't ever share anything from my diary, so you guys are getting a very sneak peek into this. Let me see if there's anything that I can read out from this. Okay, so yesterday's entry, I was talking about how, like, the last few years I've been writing a diary. If you guys don't know, please sit down and get yourself a coffee, because this is going to be the longest vlog ever, like the longest chatty segment ever. But back in 2018, I was working for a PR company and I hated it. I honestly hated it. I was so drained. Even though I just graduated, I started this job and I just was so miserable. I had amazing colleagues, but it was just a miserable existence. And I realised I didn't want to do the 9 to 5. I didn't want to do the London commute. I didn't want to live in London either at the time. It was just like nothing was right, and it just didn't fit and mesh well with what I wanted from life. So I really dreaded it. And in 2018, I decided that I was going to start a diary and write as much as possible and just be open. I've always written things here and there in my lifetime. Like, I've written so much poetry, like in my early teens and stuff, and I have so much poetry, things like that, but I never really stuck to a diary. So I was writing quite regularly about my life and boy drama and, you know, things like all sorts of things that were going on in my life. But the thing that really spurred me to do it was it's so funny, the second Mamma Mia film, and young Donna and how she kind of dealt with her life. And in the first film she has a diary, and all these diary entries show her daughter what her life was like. So I feel like having a diary is something for future generations to come. Like, God forbid someone reads my diary. I'm really sorry if you ever do, because some of it is like oh my god, it doesn't make any sense. Some of it is maybe borderline incriminating, I don't know, but you know when you just like have to get your thoughts out. Not incriminating as in breaking the law, just incriminating as in I can't believe she thought those things. But that's where you get your emotions out and you're kind of just opening up on paper. But slight tangent, I do that quite a lot, guys. The last sort of maybe 6 months, maybe the whole period of lockdown, even though it was like the prime time to be writing in a diary, I just couldn't think of anything worse. I didn't want to pick up my diary. I didn't want to write about it. I kind of regret it now. I wish I'd documented more. I wish I'd started this vlog channel and just been confident enough to just pick up the camera and just get it done, because this year will never happen again. At least I don't think it will, and I hope it won't. But this year has been so crazy. And so I kind of wish that I'd written more about it. I did write a poem, which I will put in the description. I'll actually type it out for you guys. I called it The Great Wait, and it was my first experiences of lockdown and what I thought lockdown was. Quite funny because so much has changed since that time. But that's the point really, because you forget how things were at that precise moment. And that's why it's important to document things, film things, take more pictures, be real, you know, get as much content. Like, people that fear capturing moments on social media and pictures and fear that element of content creation are actually kind of denying themselves the memories and the moments to look back on. So that's why I capture things, and I think that's what drew me into photography as well. I keep going on so many tangents here, so oh, if you guys are sticking with me and watching this video, then hats off to you, because this video is rambly as hell. I'm just going to call it Alice Rambles or something to that description. But in my diary entry yesterday, I was talking about thoughts being wild and putting less pressure on myself to write things every single day and make it, you know, well written, because I think that's something that I do quite a lot as a writer, as a journalist. You critique yourself. It was to the point where I was critiquing my own diary. Like, Alice, give yourself a break. Nothing has to be perfect. So the title for this diary entry is Wild Thoughts. And I know you guys are thinking of Rihanna's song Wild Thoughts. That's a whole different vibe. So I'll read you the beginning, because obviously it like branches out into other things. But I just wrote, I'm embracing and accepting that this diary isn't going to be perfect. I won't write daily unless I want to. But I feel the only way to handle all my thoughts, dreams, emotions is the fact that I need to let my thoughts sprinkle the pages like wildflowers. Sometimes there's no sense in the seeds sown. Perhaps that is why life twists and turns so much. So I was kind of just thinking about why life twists and turns the way it does. And when you look at wildflowers that have been planted or even just scattered, you don't know what's going to come. You don't know what's going to come through in the next few months. I think that's why you have to scatter your emotions in a diary, and then you can kind of look back maybe in 3 or 4 months, 6 months, a year, and see how much things have changed, because I do believe that the emotions and the thoughts and the time and energy put into what you believe right now will affect the outcome in 6 months' time, like it would planting seeds in the ground. So those were my thoughts yesterday. Every single day is different, you know. Some days I'm so not poetic at all and I just want to write about exactly what happened. Some days I feel like Bridget Jones. But you know, it's all about just expressing yourself, and why I think self-care does start from a diary. You could even do what I'm doing right now, which is essentially a video diary. It's a therapeutic way to just get everything out, let everything out. I already feel so much better just talking to you guys and engaging with you. I wonder if you guys have any questions about how to write in a journal and how to diarize things and write as if and act as if, because I have a video up on my main channel. I will link it in the suggested box for you, and it's all about how to journal. I feel like inevitably I will do a bit more of a sit down and kind of explain things in way more detail, but until then you can kind of check that out, watch those videos. Let me know if you start a diary. I feel like this is like the prime time to start writing about how life was, because we look back at things like World War I, World War II, and I know it's not exactly the same, but I'm just using it as like an example. we look back at those times and we look at diary entries and they're almost like pockets of fact, because people write as things are. I know there's a lot of emotion in things, but you're getting so much more from somebody's diary versus a newspaper article. The two things are very vastly different. You're going to get so much more emotion and reality than you would a newspaper article. So bear that in mind. You know, our diaries of today are going to be the history books of the future, or will be used to base history books on. So that's my deep chat for today. I was going to do more and chat more, but this video is already so long. I really hope you guys enjoyed chatting with me, and it's so super random. But maybe I'll do more of these, like honest, simple, like there's nothing going on behind me right now, like it's so bare and basic. But I feel like sometimes you just need to do that. You just need to speak and that be enough for the video. So that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. Please do go ahead and subscribe. I post such an array of content on this channel, and I will be in the coming months and years. I feel like life is going to move and change, and I want to keep all my memories in this lovely channel. So please do give this a like, subscribe, and I will see you all in my next vlog.